what should we do with this land? And so, it's like, okay, people have said, maybe have another, maybe create a state park, maybe try to do more amusement parks. Someone even said, like, maybe you need another state prison. Who knows? I just think that
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Disney suing Florida Governor Ron DeSantis for what they call a targeted government campaign of retaliation. Now, this goes back to at least last year, maybe even years before that, when you're talking about the whole Don't Say Gay bill, which is really called the Parental Rights in Education bill. Now, this bill keeps a lot of explicit material out of the classroom, so your 6, 7, 8-year-old boy or girl won't be in school and get shown inappropriate material. That's what the bill is for the most part, right? But Disney's former CEO, Bob Chapek, back in 2002 said, hey, we oppose this. So essentially, Disney became a lobbyist against DeSantis's bill. Okay, that's what is going on. So, of course, if you want to do something like that, well, now we got a battle. You're not just going to be able to do something like that and lobby against this bill, which makes sense to DeSantis and a lot of other Floridians and Americans without any kind of kickback. I guess some governors would just sit back and do nothing, but that's not DeSantis. So this is when it started. That's Bob Chapek right there. And as a result of that, they lost their special exempt tax status in Florida. Okay. It's like, all right, you want to fight? Let's fight. So it's been an ongoing thing, a lot of back and forth. And I think the most recent thing is over a land grab. As I played in the very beginning, there's some land that I think Disney was supposed to be able to govern without necessarily having input from the state government. I'm not sure how that works. Y'all let me know in the comments below if you know. But rather than that land going to Disney, that might go back to Florida and they may make it into a state park or, as DeSantis said, a state prison. Now, let's get into some video right here of some news about the story. If you want to see this clip and also read the articles I put on the screen before you, the link, as always, will be in the description. If you're on IG, visit the link in the bio and go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Breaking developments in the fight between Disney and the state of Florida. The Walt Disney Company has now filed a lawsuit against the state, saying a targeted campaign of government retaliation orchestrated by Governor Ron DeSantis was used as punishment for Disney's protected speech. The lawsuit says recent legislation threatens Disney's business operations, jeopardizes its economic future in the region, and violates its constitutional rights.
Okay.
And this all comes as the new state-appointed board meets today. News 6's Lauren Cervantes joins us now live with more on what's happened so far. Lauren.
Well, the board voted today on a number of things. The first declaring the deal that the former board struck with Disney null and void. They also passed 2 resolutions with a unanimous vote. The first is a superior authority resolution, giving the new board authority over the entire district, including over things like planning, zoning, land development. And that control would also include within the jurisdictional limits of the cities of Lake Buena Vista and Bay Lake. Now, the other resolution that they adopted prohibits COVID-19 restrictions or mandates by businesses within the district. But before the votes, board members heard from business owners, a couple of them from Disney Springs, asking for an open dialogue and expressing concerns over higher taxes that could potentially come.
Now, the thing, like I said a little while ago, I think Disney had control over some of that land, like the corporation itself. And now I think that has gone back to the state of Florida, and that may be where this particular piece of the lawsuit comes in.
There were a lot of functions that this board did that were not according to Florida law. They were not functioning under best practices, and we've got to bring those transparency and accountability for the benefit of all of you and to be in compliance with Florida law.
We're going to have more from the business owners this afternoon. As for the votes themselves, they actually passed fairly quickly without discussion. For now in Orange County, I'm Lauren.
So that's that. Now, here is what Florida, this is what Florida could lose when you're talking about tax benefits and tourists and things of that nature. Now, to speak on that right quick, I don't think Florida is going to be hurting for people that come to the state. they're really being overrun right now by Californians and New Yorkers and everybody else. So if Disney wants to fly away, do whatever they want to do, I don't think Florida would be hurt that much. I think it'd be in Disney's best interest to work out a deal with DeSantis and the state of Florida government to continue to stay in the state rather than to go get banished to somewhere else.
Welcome back. Data download time. The feud between Ron DeSantis and Disney escalated yet again this week when the Florida governor proposed developing land near the amusement park into a state park, or even more snarkily, he suggested a state prison. It was the latest volley in a battle that began last year when Disney executives criticized DeSantis' parental rights in education bill. It was dubbed the Don't Say Gay bill by...
I got a lot of respect for my man right here for saying what the bill's name is actually, and then saying what the nickname was, because a lot of these places... what's this, Chuck Todd? A lot of places will say the Don't Say Gay thing and won't say what it's actually called, which obfuscates the actual purpose of the bill. Let's continue.
And many opponents. But it has turned into somewhat of an all-out personal feud between a sitting governor and a business that is very crucial to much of the state's economy. Let me just show you how important Disney is to the state of Florida. This is Disney's annual visitors to the Disney World amusement parks, over 36 million people in 2021. And just so you know, that's actually kind of low right now. Pre-pandemic, close to 60 million visitors. Just, you know, it works out to about 1 in 5 of all Americans. So, of course, there's some global visitors there. How about in tax revenue that Disney World generates? Well, Disney itself claims they collected over $1 billion in taxes in the calendar year 2022.
Let's pause right here, though. Okay, Disney, it's a great attraction for many families, individual people, couples, whatever it is. Worldwide visitors is a great attraction, right? But so is the state of Florida. So if you were to move this out of Florida, where are you going to go? You already have one in California, right? You're talking about good weather and places people want to go, a lot of population. Where are you going to go? You going to go to Georgia? You're going to have some of the same problems. South Carolina, North Carolina, you have some of the same issues. Where are you really going to go? Again, Disney needs to come to the table and figure out a way to resolve all this nonsense.
Amount of money is more than the entire budget for many of Florida's state agencies. That's how crucial this is to the state of Florida. Let me go to the a number of employees. It's the second largest private employer, over 75,000. This is Central Florida's economy, if you will. 75,000 people employed at Disney World. The only private company to employ more people in the state of Florida is the Publix grocery store chain. And then there's just the overall economic impact that it does for the entire Central Florida region. One estimate by Oxford Economics put it at over $75 billion in economic impact to the state of Florida thanks to Disney World. This isn't just a mouse that roars. Politically, it could become a mouse that bites as well.
All right. Shout out Chuck Todd over there on NBC, MS13 DNC, wherever he's at doing that report. But yeah, so Disney has sued DeSantis. I think it'd be a lot of back and forth, a lot of court action, because you're talking about a really big corporation, a lot of money, billions of dollars on the line. This is going to be a really serious thing going on. But shout out to DeSantis for standing up for what's right, standing up for regular, everyday Americans who don't want the ridiculous, inappropriate, explicit stuff to be placed in front of their children at school, which is what this whole thing is about in the first place. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about what's going on here? Disney suing Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and I guess the state of Florida. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I think that this is inevitable. It was going to happen because you got a lot of money on the line. You got a lot of investment and there's all kind of stuff going on. Disney won't go down without a fight, and neither will DeSantis or the state of Florida. I think Florida will ultimately win here. And you got to ask yourself the question, why would the CEO of Disney or the former CEO, Bob Chapek, come out and say that it's somehow wrong to ban explicit material from the classroom? I don't like, let's talk about that part. Can we get an answer to that question? I think that is the bigger issue here rather than anything that DeSantis is doing or not doing. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.